What is up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with Tactical Gaming, bringing you guys a very interesting video. So, if you don't know this, I work retail, and the thing about retail is quite interesting, right? Because almost now, on a daily basis, I literally have customers come into the store, ask me why is it okay for these people to come in, fill up a cart full of groceries, and walk out the door. Now, me, of course, I have to sit there and go, well, it's not okay, and we have to follow certain kind of policies and everything else. They're like, well, you know they're stealing. It's like, yep, but I can't say they're stealing. I can't call them a thief. I can't do very much of anything at all. And then a lot of responses, people go, well, why do I shop here? Why do I spend money here? It's like, I don't blame you. I don't blame anyone who gets tired of watching people come into a grocery store, fill up carts full of groceries or, any kind of other kind of apparel product, home product, whatever, right? But, so, this is what we deal with, right? We have this one lady, and this is one of many stories I'm going to tell you. So we have this one lady, she's a receipt shopper, right? And we're pretty sure that it's organized retail theft because she literally, at the end of the night, after the store closes, we see her walk around the parking lot picking up receipts every night that she's there. And I'm not talking about, once a week. No, every single night. Every night that I work and I see her at that store, at the end of the night, she will literally walk out with a bunch of stuff. She'll have a receipt, but because she has a receipt, I can't do very much of anything because policy. Now, this video, if you haven't seen the title, it's called Retail Apocalypse. Now, if retailers like Kroger, Fred Meyer, Target, Walmart, Walgreens, and everything else do not get a handle on this theft, eventually, one of three things is going to happen, okay? You're going to be forced to shut your doors down, and you're no longer a business, which is more than likely case in point if you don't change certain policies, okay? Or they're going to sit there and they're going to do what Walgreens in Chicago did, which is shut down the store minus a few kiosks for people to order stuff. Now, that's going to bring down your customer base by a lot. And that's also going to bring down, retail jobs down a lot because they're going to only have a certain amount of people that they're going to have at the store to do the picking for people, right? Just like how you can order your groceries online and then do a pickup order. That's literally what it's going to be, right? That's literally what it's going to be, and that's where it's going to kill a lot of their income. Will you stop doing that? It's going to kill a lot of it because there's a lot of elderly customers who don't understand how to use the apps or go on to and order groceries. So there goes a whole lot of elderly who won't be able to go shopping no more because they don't understand the technology. So there's more loss of money. So even with them closing their doors to, the customer base to come into the store, it's still going to kill their income because they lost a whole demographic of people, the elderly, who spend, in general, more money at the grocery store than most young people. Now, if they actually decide to change their policies that prohibit and limit and pretty much handcuff the associates of the store, and I'm not talking about just like security and or LP/AP. No, I'm talking about all associates. Like at my retail location where I work, a lot of us will work as a team. We'll call someone else like, hey, yeah, this person's over here. They're doing this. They're doing that. They got this. They got that. Right? And we can tell. Like, and this is the irritating thing about having to follow policies from people who legit don't work the job. They're just a suit and tie or a nice little skirt kind of person, and they sit there and implement policies, and they expect us to do all this other kind of stupid bullshit with no actual real world experience. Because one, they came in the corporate end of the business and never actually worked retail. Majority of them never worked retail. And if they did work retail, it was back in the 90s or early 2000s when theft was nowhere near as bad as it is. Okay? But literally, this one lady, and we get many of them, okay, will go over to this crack van, give the dude the receipts. They'll go into a whole nother store, another grocery store that shares the same chain, same receipts, all that, and they'll go and pick stuff off the shelf, go over, return it, get money. And then they go and buy their crack, their heroin, their meth, whatever they got to go buy, right? Now, the thing is, at my one retail location that I work at, we've been starting to see box trucks that they literally will put all the stuff that they stole from the store in the back of this box truck, or in the back of this van, or in the back of this RV or something, right? And then you'll literally see, because we have security who sit there and share pictures. They're in like a little chat group and everything. It's like, hey, look, this van that you showed us yesterday, it's now in our parking lot. This picture of the lady that you took, they're now in our store. Oh, hey, look. So organized retail crime is a fucking thing. Now, to any of those upper echelon people who are working in corporate, who make the policies, who are very, very uneducated when it comes to working in the stores and being with the associates and expecting us to be proper, respectful, and everything else, they do not understand how jaded you become and how annoying it is to sit there and watch people. Like, I get customers who come in and go, well, if they're going to do it, why don't we? Which is the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is eventually the good shoppers, the good people who actually pay for their shit. And I'm talking to you retailers, I'm talking to you Kroger, Walmart, Fred Meyer, Walgreens, all you people who, hire people and expect people to, be proper, polite, and all this other kind of stuff, right? And treat the customer like a customer, which we have no problem. We love customers. We love people who spend money in our stores. But the thing is, you think that we are stupid and don't know who's a thief and who's not. We know. Because, put it this way, someone who's a thief isn't going to go to the back end of a store in a random ass aisle and start filling a bag full of shit. If they just got done buying it, they're not going back in the store to fill a bag full of shit and then run out the doors. And the biggest irritation is the fact of the matter is all these retail locations, all of them, every single one, is more afraid of being sued by a criminal than actually stopping them. They literally are afraid that the criminal will turn around and sue them because they got hurt running away from stealing shit. Are you kidding me? Because like I said just a second ago, eventually the good people, the good ones, are going to sit there and start filling up carts and walking out. And this is going to be their defense. Well, you let that thief do it. You let this one do it. You let this one do it. They do it every day. I'm doing it this one time. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. And not only that, because retail theft is so bad, right? They also sit there and say, oh, well, don't get involved because you might get hurt. Well, the thing is, if we were allowed to actually defend ourselves, if we were allowed to actually physically stop thieves, such as someone with a cart, if we were allowed to grab onto that cart and say, show me your receipt, show proof that you purchased said items in cart, show that you actually did it, Because legitimate customers will go like, here you go. Now, there's a respectful way of doing it, but like I said, the ones that I'm referring to, repeat offenders, we know their faces. We know what they look like, despite them wearing a face mask, a hood, because normal customers who come in and buy don't have a big old face mask on their face, a hood with sunglasses and a hat. That is clear and obvious thief. People with crack sores all over their face and their arms and shit. I remember the good old days where you could not be high as shit in the store. We had one last night. This dude couldn't sit fucking still at all, whatsoever. And I mean, he wasn't violent. He wasn't like anything, just fucking erratic and weird. Weird to the point where this dude at one point in time was hiding behind a pillar kind of near one of the Starbucks that we have in our store. And he's like peeking behind the corner and he's like doing this. Like imagine this is a pillar. He's like doing this shit. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? What the fuck? And he's all walking all weird and being fucking like weird. And then we have a motherfucker, because we have one of those phone kiosk things in our foyer. This motherfucker literally was turning in like 20 plus phones that he clearly didn't own, because they're iPhones, Androids of all different makes and models and everything. It's like society is allowing this criminality, and eventually it's either going, two things are going to happen. Either the good people are going to get tired of it and the good people are going to start beating ass on all these criminals. They're going to do it. Or they're going to join in and say, fuck it, I'm going to steal what I want. So, retailers, you have three choices. Either allow your associates, and that means change policy. Legit change policy. Let security, let your CESs, door greeters, your people, your LP, AP, whatever, go full hands-on. And I mean full hands-on with people who are legitimate thieves. Bring back the wall of shame, meaning when we catch a thief, we take a picture of them and we put it on the entry doors of the store so that customers, associates know these people aren't allowed in the store. Allow people who work at your store, who know these people aren't allowed, to kick them out. Whether they're a manager or a cashier or whatever. Any store associate, and I mean, now granted, if you want, for policy's sake, have them sign a piece of paper that says, I, name here, do understand that I may acquire bodily harm, and in doing so, I will not sue my store. Because that's their other fear, is that an associate's going to turn around and sue the store because, oh, hey, I got injured. If I get injured doing my job, I'm not going to sue my store. Now, am I going to expect them to, either allow me to do light duty or, come into work and do specific kind of things or whatever else? Yes, I shouldn't lose my job by doing my job. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if these retail locations actually want to keep their doors open or make money, change your policies. Because you're going to lose a lot of associates over some stupid bullshit while letting these whacked out tweakers come in and steal your shit. Because for the most part, it's not a whole lot of normal people stealing stuff. So another story, there's this one lady, we got her 2-3 weeks ago maybe. This lady literally went into liquor, started filling up some stuff, walked out of liquor, right? So first time we saw her, she paid. We're like, okay, normal, whatever. But noticed that she came back in again not too much later and then started grabbing the same stuff. But this time, what she did was she started filling up more stuff. And what made it suspicious was she opened up her coat and started doing this. She was putting it in her clothing. Okay? Ding, 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 ding. Not a normal customer. Okay? And then, of course, she walks out. Goes, oh, have a good day. Because they think we don't know they're stealing. Because I sit there, specific customers, I'll go, yeah, have a good day. Whatever. I smile. I greet them. I'm kind. I'm cordial. All that. Thieves, I sit there and go, I know what you're doing. Now, I don't sit there and say that, but I look at him in a very specific way. It's like, you can go ahead and pretend all you want like you didn't just steal from us, but I fucking know what you did. One of my favorite things is I go, we have cameras. I saw what you did. But anyways, so this lady walks out. Our AP luckily had elements on it. We got our liquor back. This lady's like, oh, well, I got it from my daughter. My daughter bought it. My daughter bought it. It's like, where's your daughter? Oh, she's at home. It's like, if your daughter bought it, why she's at home? She would be in the store, right? It's like, oh, I'm going to call my daughter. We'll settle this. I'm not stealing. I'm not stealing. I'm not stealing. It's like, we never said she was. Because if we did, we'd get in trouble and probably lose our fucking jobs, which is stupid. You can't call a thief, which is very stupid. But that'd be the case, right? Saw that same lady last night. Same lady. Now, funny thing is, there's certain things that are very noticeable. Like tattoos. Okay? Tattoos are very noticeable. There's a reason why police officers, when they arrest people, they take pictures of their tattoos. Okay? So, it's kind of funny. This lady expected us not to notice, and while I'm looking at the cameras, I literally see this lady fill up multiple bags and start storing them in places in the Tide aisle. And I mean, she's grabbing one big old thing of Tide, and not only that, she's literally taking the EAS tags, the things that go ring, 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 when you go through the doors if you don't scan it, right? She's peeling these off and putting them on the freaking shelves. I'm literally watching her do this. And as she's coming towards me because she rounded the away from the registers, I'm like, I see the little game you're playing. So I walk up to her, like, hey ma'am, do you mind letting me see the receipt for the Tide that you put in that bag over in the Tide aisle? She's like, oh, these are mine. I paid for them. It's like, ma'am, I have a camera right there. I pointed right at the camera that has the Tide aisle on it. I'm like, I saw what you did. I saw you remove the tags. All I need to do is see the receipt for this Tide. And same lady, of course, so she played the same game. Oh, I was doing it for my daughter. My daughter paid for it. My daughter. So I was like, okay, well, if your daughter comes back with the receipt of her being in this store at this specific time to pay for this stuff, okay. So we left her bags exactly where they were. But ironically, the lady left, drove off. It's like, of course, you're going to fucking lie, and then you're going to sit there and act like, oh, hey. Now, of course, we had another gentleman who did the same thing, filled up a cart of stuff earlier in the day, doing that, ditches everything because he realized he was being followed by AP, comes back again, this time, sits there, fills up a cart. Now, I can ask for, a receipt when there's no bags. Now, granted, I don't know if any other store location does this, but charges for bags. We do where I live. But, so I go, hey, bud, you mind showing me the receipt for all this unbagged merchandise? It's like, I don't have to show you. It's like, yes, you do. This sign right here says, please present receipt for all unbagged merchandise. He's like, freedom of speech. I'm like, what's that have to do with it? He's like, oh, you're just racist because I'm black. It's like, no, I asked this of all people. Now, in my brain, I'm sitting there thinking, even the crackhead white motherfuckers, which we have a lot of, and I apprehend and get those ones more often than anyone else because they're more predominant. There's more white crackhead people that we get on a daily basis than anyone else, period. And I don't care your color. If you're a fucking thief, I'm going to try to get our product back. I'm going to follow the policies I have to follow because I need to pay my rent. I need to, feed my child and all this other kind of stuff. But it's aggravating when you work in a security field and you can't do anything. Anything at all. And the problem with it is these criminals know the rules. They know what we're allowed and not allowed to do. They know it. And it's high time that these companies change their policies and allow their associates to stop the criminality before it gets worse. Because organized retail crime, like I've already mentioned before, is skyrocketing. It is more than it ever has been. Ever. ever. So it's either you allow associates, and I mean all associates, sign a piece of paper that says, yeah, I'm not going to sue you if I stop a fucking thief in the store. I'm not going to sue you if I get hurt. You know what I mean? But if you don't do that, you're going to have to shut the doors and no longer allow anyone in the store other than associates and turn it into a pickup location. Period. Meaning the parking lot is going to be a pickup location. But here's the problem with that. Criminals are smart. Sadly, they are. They're pretty smart. They're lazy as fuck, but they're smart. And this is how they're going to go about it. I can guarantee you, eventually they're going, oh, well, I can't get in the store and steal shit, so I'm going to do one of two things. I'm going to break into the store and start stealing shit, and because there's associates in there, they're not going to stop me because they can't, unless they're allowed to, which you can guarantee all companies won't do that because they don't give a shit about their associates. They really don't. And or they're going to start robbing the associates who are taking the groceries to said people's cars. They're not going to generally actually rob the people. Maybe they might, depending. But that's the route it's going to go. They're either break into the store and steal shit, or they're going to mug the associate taking groceries to said person. That's going to be the case. And then the worst case scenario, because y'all are fucking stupid, and you don't work the job, and you don't know what it's like dealing with these whacked out motherfuckers, these homeless people who are constantly stealing. And I'm not talking about, oh, they stole a sandwich or they stole a soda. Like 1, 2, 3 items, to eat. Okay, whatever. Most of us don't really give a shit. But when it's full carts of clothing or Tide or home products or anything else that they're selling to get drugs and not eat, that's the difference, and that's what people are getting pissed about. Like, full carts of groceries that they're not even going to eat. They just want the money they're going to get to do drugs. But you're going to get your stores shut the fuck down because the good customers are going to join in with the criminals and start stealing your shit, and then you're going to have to fire all your associates and shut down all your store locations. So, retailers, choose which one you want. Do you want associates to start doing their jobs a lot more than what they do? Or do you want to implement an assload of changes to the point where it's more money spent changing the store, such as changing the doors, changing everything else? Or do you want your shit to shut down? I would go with this one. I would go with allow your associates. It's not hard for managers to go to each department and say, hey, we have this read and sign. You don't have to sign it. This is a choice. But this will give you the okay to start stopping retail theft. There's associates who will do it, who want to do it because they're tired of watching these people get shit for free. Everyone in this country who work retail are tired of watching these motherfuckers get shit for free. And it's not just the people who work there. The customers are doing it too. They're pissed. Every day, not even kidding, every day I hear a customer talk to me. And I'm not talking about one customer. No, it's at least 5 to 10, depending on how busy the day is. We'll sit there and go, oh, hey, I don't like this. This makes me feel unsafe because you guys have crackheads in here. You have thieves in here. You have these people in here. It makes the store look bad, yada, yada, yada. Well, you know what? I agree with you. I don't blame you. I don't like it either. And I mean, there's nothing I can do. And then I tell these customers to go to the actual site and go to the suggestion box because they're tired. But, of course, they're not going to read those suggestions or take those suggestions because they don't care. So, retailers, choose one of those 3. Like, share, subscribe, spread the word. Stay free, America. Love you.